How to remember the sign of an algebra term. Have you ever stared at an algebra problem and felt lost in a sea of plus and minus signs? It can be tricky, but remembering the signs of algebra terms is easier than you might think. Let's break it down into simple steps. First, every algebra term can have a positive or negative sign. If you do not see a sign, it is positive by default. This is your starting point. Next, when you add or subtract terms, pay attention to the signs right next to each term. For example, if you see 6 minus negative 7, remember that subtracting a negative is the same as adding a positive. So, 6 minus negative 7 turns into 6 plus 7. Now let's talk about multiplication and division. If you multiply or divide two terms that have the same sign, the result will be positive. For instance, negative 4 times negative 5 equals positive 20. However, if the signs are different, the result will be negative. For example, negative 6 divided by positive 3 equals negative 2. Another important point is how to handle negative signs in parentheses. If you see a negative sign in front of parentheses, it flips the signs of every term inside. For example, negative parentheses for x plus 2y minus 3z becomes negative for x minus 2y plus 3z. This is because you are essentially multiplying each term inside by negative 1. Also, keep an eye out for to minus signs together. When you see this, like in subtracting a negative term, just replace them with a plus sign. This little trick can help simplify your calculations and keep things clear. To help you remember these rules, always start by identifying the sign right in front of each term. Use the same sign equals positive and different signs equals negative rule for multiplication and division. When you distribute a negative sign, remember to flip the signs of all terms inside the parentheses. And if you encounter double negatives, convert them to positives. By understanding these basic rules, you will find it easier to track and remember the signs of algebra terms. This approach will make your algebra journey smoother and more manageable, especially as you build your foundational skills.